What's up, guys? Welcome back to CardSpot. My name is Ethan. Today we're doing something that we've done a couple of times on the channel. People seem to enjoy it, so we're back at it. This week we are playing an Edison Duel Night with the GK Diva Hero deck that it topped an event a little while back. I can't remember which event it was. I think I made a couple of tweaks to it and decided that I wanted to take it for a run. And it's actually a really fun deck. It's pretty cool. It's yeah, it's a little bit more versatile than regular Diva Hero, I would say. So we've got 3 matches. Let's get into it. Alright, so game 1. The opponent lays their cards out in dick formation to start. And it looks like they're starting. So they set, I believe, a Ryko and pass the turn. So I'm going to set a Spy of my own with a bunch of back row. I believe one of them is a Phoenix Wing Windblast. So I was kind of tempted to Phoenix Wing Windblast the Ryko, but I didn't in the end. We're just going to flip Spy because now we can get out the Descendant. And be able to pop the Ryko, the first set, which I'm picking is the Ryko. Now, I must admit, this was a couple of weeks ago, so my memory of the match is a little bit rusty, but here we are. So we pop the wrong one, but we do get saved because neither of them were Ryko. And in fact, one of them is Ojama Blue, which is going to search 2 copies of Ojama Magic, I believe, or 1 Ojama Magic and 1 Ojama Country. So we will just pass on that. We hit a huge trap dust shoot here, and unfortunately the opponent has 2 Rykos. So we see 2 Rykos, an Ojama Yellow, an Ojama Green, a Country, an Ojama Magic, and a Symbols of Duty, and a Mind Control. So we hit one of the Rykos, and now I'm going, okay, if they set a monster, it could be the Ryko, or it could be an Ojama Bluff. So it's a little bit uncertain. But they play out the Country, activate the effect, pitching green to special back blue, and set a monster. Set a back row and pass, so we know the back row isn't anything. So draw for turn, and just double checking Ojama Country how that works, because it like flips the attack and defense of monsters on the field, but only while an Ojama's on the field. So we normal summon Diva, grab the Gilman, so the options here are to go for a level 5, Catastrophe or Android, or go for a 9 because we have the Descendant on field, for Mistworm and just bounce everything. But we got the Brain Control, so we can scoop up that Ojama Blue and Synchro for an 8. And it means then they also don't get the Destroyed by Battle effect of Ojama Blue, and we've got protection against a Ryko. So pretty nice play for us there, and we just pass it back after killing the Ryko and getting in with the Gilman. Set a monster, activate Country, and pass it over. So we're kind of going, okay, we still know the back row is nothing, the monster is maybe something, but if the worst it can be is a Ryko. It turns out it's a hamster, so they're going to get a Ryko, but Stardust deals with that. We'll get rid of the blue. Blue will search them cards, but the problem with Ojamas is they don't have anything good to search, so they just get 2 vanillas. And I set another monster, so I think that's a Spy. They try to mind con the Stardust, and I'm having a big think because I guess I've got something to respond. I didn't see everything that I had set, and I don't quite remember. We rip off a Solemn on the Mind Con, so hoping or thinking that they don't have anything else. We know that they had an Ojama Magic, a Symbols of Duty, but neither of those are doing anything for them. Symbols of Duty comes down, tributing off the Ojama Black for a Diva. They flip the Ryko, which we're going to negate. They have the instant fusion, so they can use the Diva for some kind of play. I think a Black Rose here, maybe? Yeah. Don't have any response to the Black Rose, which is pretty devastating, but we are going to be getting Stardust back in the end phase, so now it's just a Stardust to nothing. So we just get in for 25. They don't have the Gauze, and we just pass it over. So just doing a graveyard check, seeing what they're working with, making sure that there's... Oops, slamming the microphone. Making sure there's nothing too crazy. That's the thing you've got to check in in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Make sure they've got nothing crazy in the graveyard. So they set a monster, we're just going to attack into it. We set a back row and pass. I think I saw a Summoner Monk in their hand. They are having a look at what they've got in the extra deck. They're just going to set a monster, which is probably the Summoner Monk. We're going to, kill it with Stardust. Set another back row. We're just starting to build momentum. They go for the Heavy Storm, and I'm big thinking, because we are kind of low, we're on 36. So I'm thinking if I want to negate that with Stardust, I do indeed. Down comes the Rescue Cap, so this is problematic now. This is where it starts to get, or can get, a little dangerous. Luckily, we've got the TT set, so we can just clean up the board, bring Stardust back, top deck a Stratos, and that will be game over. We will go to game 2. Alright, game 2, so obviously the opponent will be starting. They lead off with a Rescue Cap, which is pretty good. Get out their 2 level 3s, synchro them off for a YuGiOh, no, Catasta. Oh yeah, because Ojama Black is a level 2. Synchro it off for Catasta, pass it over. We have a Diva, I can see a Bottomless, and Evil Hero Prodigy. We special summon the Prodigy out, normal summon the Diva, that gets us another Diva. So we're going for maybe a level 6 play through Armriam. So sync 4 for Armriam and then 6 for Bryo. Pitching Malicious to bounce that back. It's unfortunate that we have to use all our tuners just to get the Malicious engraved, but it is what it is. Set a back row and pass it over. They bring out the Cyber Dragon, which is of course no immediate threat. Down comes Junk Synchron, bringing back the Ojama Black, and they're synchroing those off for an 8, a Stardust, which we attempt to Bottomless. They negate. I think this was just me trying to keep the Bryo alive, because if I keep the Bryo alive, they bring the Stardust back in the end phase, I can just bounce it. They get another Rescue Cat off and get a Catasta out, which is going to clean up our Bryo, which is unfortunate. So there was a line where we could have kept the Stardust away, but it didn't work out. So we're going to go for Malicious Effect here, banish the copy that we pitched with Bryo, and I'm just reading Dark End, which just making sure it says send. So we summon out Plague, make Dark End effect will send Stardust, and it's big enough to attack over Catasta. Oh, I think we attack over Catasta first, right, for more damage, and then use its effect for Stardust. We set a back row and pass the turn. Opponent will set a monster on a back row and pass it right back to us. It looks like we drew a spell. Couldn't see exactly what it was, but we're going to summon out Stratos, and that is going to grab us another Infernal Prodigy, because obviously we've used the Maliciouses, and I believe those are the only 5 heroes that I'm playing. 2 Prodigy, 2 Malicious, and a Stratos. We're going to Effective Dark End to send their monster to grave. We'll try and attack in, which they take, and then we'll attack with Stratos. So they're getting low. In phase, they decree us, which is really interesting. And they have Monk. So Monk is going to pitch a spell and grab a level 4, which is going to be Hamster, which I think maybe they're just trying to wall up, which Hamster actually does. Hamster walls both of these now, because Dark End is 1600, and Stratos is only 18, so we can kill the Monk with Stratos, but the Hamster isn't going anywhere. They pass, we draw for turn. I can see a Heavy Storm in hand, maybe a Miracle Fusion, I'm not too sure. We Dark End one more time to send the Hamster, and then we can attack with everything, and that will be game. So we take out round 1. Okay, round 2, game 1. We lose the Dairo, so we will be going second against Burn. And so I know my opponent is on Burn, and I'm like, okay, I just need to go balls to the wall as quick as I can. Aggressive as we can, and just try and run them out of resources as quick as possible. So they set 4 and pass it over. So I'm like, okay. Special summon the Prodigy. Tribute the Prodigy for Caius. We can hit one of their back row straight away. This is where they start to chain everything. So they chain Yada, then they chain Reckless, then they chain Wabaku, and then they chain Accumulated Fortune. So they draw a million cards. And then obviously 2 off Reckless and 1 off Yada, and they don't take any damage. So I'm going to throw down a Rhoda, try and thin the deck, go for Dark Grepher, and then set a back row, and we will pass it over. So they, of course, don't draw because of the Reckless Greed. We can see a Lava Golem chilling in their hand. Yeah, this deck is really nasty. It's a good deck, which is unfortunate because Burn is never very fun to play against. So we can see that they're just going to set a bunch of back rows, summon out the Cyber Valley, and pass it over. So I can see a TT, a Brain Con. I'm going to summon out the Greffer, pitch the Plague, and see if that's all good. So we're going to dump Malicious. And I'm thinking about Brain Conning the Cyber Valley, I'm pretty sure. I'm just reading the text, and it's like, oh yeah, I can Brain Con this and banish 2 to get some draws. So I think I'm going to do that with the Melee, is banish the Melee in the Cyber Valley, and get 2 draws off it. Yeah, here comes the Brain Control. Grab the Valley, and then we're going to go Valley Effect straight away, banish those 2, and get some sweet draws. Oh, and I see a Miracle Fusion there. No waters yet, but that's okay. I have a Diva in hand, so yeah, we're there. We're going to go to battle and try and get in with Greffer, which they take. We try and get in with the Caius as well. They flip Karma Cut, so we take 2400. And we set 1 and pass. That's the thing that we have to be careful of with old Burn, is the Magic Cylinders and Karma Cuts. I was just wondering why the Reckless Greed got banished, but it was because I had targeted it with Caius, so that's why. He's very generous, gives us a Lava Golem, and I'm like, no, I don't want that, so I'm going to TT it. I'm not taking 1,000 every turn just for a 3k beta that's probably not going to be getting attacks in. So he sets to 4 back row, and I'm just like, okay, we have Diva in hand. We have... I'm not sure what the third monster is, but we have a Miracle Fusion as well. It looks like third monster is maybe Spy. So we're going to Diva Effect. And he's just seeing if he's got a response to that. He's going to change R, he's going to change Yada. And then I'm like, oh, is it going to be Accumulated Fortune again? It's just Trio and then Chain Strike. So it's like, okay, we don't die to this. We take 2k and he draws 2 and we get 3 Ojama Trio tokens, which is fine because we have a tuner on field. So we can work with this. And I'm just double checking. So they're all level 2s. So it's like, okay, sweet. We can just get a Gilman here and just have beaters on the field. Maybe get rid of this Diva for something a little bit bigger. And I'm looking at the level 8s, so I'm going, Stardust probably isn't the right one to get because Burn isn't going to be trying to destroy anything. So I think I opt to go for maybe a 6 instead because YuGiOh is bigger. Yeah, that's what we do. And we just keep a token. And it's good because it gets rid of the tokens without destroying them. Throw down the Miracle Fusion as well, because at this point I'm like, he hopefully doesn't have anything and we can just try and get in because this is game. Absolute Zero's on 3k because of the Gilman. And he doesn't have anything, so we take game 1. Let's go to game 2. Alright, round 2, game 2. I don't know why I said round 2, but it is game 2. Opponent goes first and just sets 2 back row. So I'm like, alright, sweet. We can play through 2 back row. We summon out Stratos, just check what we want to grab. I think I do end up grabbing the Prodigy. If you don't have a discard outlet, it's kind of better to grab Prodigy than Malicious. We just set 1 back row and pass. I do have a Heavy Storm in hand, but I want to try and get some sweet value out of that Heavy Storm. So we just get an attack, pass it over. He is going to set 2 more. I'm going to end phase dust one of them, which is the Threatening Roar, which is, it's okay. Now I think I am going to heavy, just to try and get some value. He's going to have a big think, and obviously there's going to be some chainables, but it's like if we force him to play it out, it's going to be a lot better for us. So Secret Barrel, Chain Strike. So just counting how many, and then Chain Strike's only going to do, I think, 400. Oh no, it's 1, 2, 3, 1200. And then we take the Secret Barrel damage, and a Bribe goes away as well. So I'm looking at the hand. We got Caius, Miracle Fusion, Prodigy, Diva, and something else. So we're going to summon out the Diva. That's going to go get a Gilman, and we're going to synchro these off for probably just a Magical Android, I'm guessing, just to give us some extra life points. just having a big think about what we want to do, because there is also the option of Miracle Fusioning for an Absolute Zero, but we'll synchro with them first for the YuGiOh, then Miracle Fusion for the Absolute Zero, because this is game, because Absolute Zero is 3k, YuGiOh is 2.8, Gilman's 17, but he has the fader, so he gets to live another turn. And this is what I mean by just going absolutely balls to the wall aggressive, because like you just need to try and push for game when you can against Burn, at least in my experience. So I can see a Cyber Valley in his hand. He's going to give us a Lava Golem, which will pop the fader with Absolute Zero's effect. We take 1,000 from Lava Golem, and I'm looking, I'm guessing he's probably got another fader. He's on 6-2. So we'll put the Lava Golem in attack, and we'll just go to battle. We get in with 47, so he doesn't have a fader. So I set Spy, set a back row, and pass it over. He summons out Valley and sets one. I don't know why he didn't... Oh, because he summoned Lava Golem last turn, so he couldn't. Passes it back to us. Oh, it was a Treeborn, not a Spy. So we tribute the Treeborn for Caius, banish the back row, which is Reckless Greed, which is not really going to do... Oh, sorry, I didn't banish the back row. Banished the Cyber Valley. He just chained the Reckless Greed, I guess, to see if he could draw any battle faders or not. But that will do it. So we take out round 2 as well. Currently undefeated. We haven't lost a game so far. So let's see if we can carry that into round 3. Alright, round 3, game 1. We win the dice roll, so we get to set our Gravekeeper Spy and 2 back row and pass it over to the opponent. Looks like they've got a Gauze in hand, potentially. But we have a Dust Shoot, so we can see everything. So they've got Gauze, Caius, Raikou, Stratos as our Dust Shootable options, and then Heavy Storm, Miracle Fusion as spells and traps. So it's an interesting hand. Looking at this, you wouldn't exactly know what they're playing, but they end up being on Dandy Warrior. So I think we choose the Raikou. Oh no, we choose the Stratos. Because we have the Spy to deal with the Raikou. Yeah, I believe. So we flip Spy, we get Descendant, and then Descendant can pop Raikou, which is quite nice. And then that just keeps them off a pop. So we get the Raikou out of here. And now it's like, okay, we attack. They do drop the Gauze, which is fine. There's an argument for not attacking, just so that they don't have tribute fodder. But we also have tribute fodder, so we can tribute the Descendant for Gauze, for Caius to banish the Gauze for them to take 1,000. And then I believe we pass it over to them, which is unfortunate because they have tribute fodder for their Caius now. But it is what it is. I think maybe we have a response. No, we don't. So we just take 1,000 and they get over our Caius. And then we take 2,400 direct. From here, we're going to special summon the Prodigy, tribute for another Caius, banish their Caius. Okay, so we had a backup plan. Get in for 24. So now we know they have a Stratos, a Miracle Fusion, and a Heavy Storm, I think, in their hand. Down comes the Heavy, which gets our Phoenix Wing Wind Blast, and then they top deck a Lone Fire, which is obviously very good for them here because that gets them to Titanial. Which, yeah, pretty nice to get over the Caius. We take the 400 and draw for turn. Set a monster, set a back row, pass it over. This is looking a little bit precarious because we also know that they've got the Stratos, which is going to get them Neos Alias. We know they've got Miracle Fusion, which isn't online right now because they don't have any Earths, I don't believe, because Lone Fires are fire. They attack into our Treeborn Frog, which they don't set a back row, so I can't bring it back because I set the MST. Looking at hand, I have a Stratos, so I'm like, do I want to summon the Stratos, search, and then crash? And then I think I have maybe a Mirror Force. I'm not too sure. I can't quite make it out. Oh, it's a Mind Con. So we try to force out the Tribute. That's right. And I don't believe they take the bait. Which is unfortunate, because now we just can't do anything. But we can Stratos, get a Malicious, and I think we just crash, yeah. Give them back the Titanium and pass. So, and they know that we didn't use the spell or trap last turn, so it's probably nothing. So down comes the Alias. I try to MST the Alias, and it doesn't work. So we lose game 1. Let's see if we can pick up game 2. Alright, game 2. See if we can pull this one out. This is not a great hand. You see Treeborn, we see Malicious, we see Descendant. A lot of things that we don't necessarily want in our hand. We want to be dumping those off Future Fusion and Spy and stuff. Thinking of what we want to grab, I end up grabbing a Greffa instead, because I'm like, Stratos isn't doing anything for us here. Greffa, we can at least summon it out, pitch the Malicious, dump a Plague, now we have plays online. So that is what we end up doing. So we can make a level 8 now. We're just going to set a back row for now. I don't think I make the play. No, we just wait. And I'm going to probably put the Descendant back in the deck, I'm thinking. Looks like he's got a Snowman Eater, a YuGiOh, maybe a Hamster in hand. There's a spell card as well, which I can't quite make out. Looks like he sets the Snowman Eater. We draw Gauze by the looks of it. Looks like a Gauze-shaped object. We have MST, but no back row, so we stack the Descendant, Special Plague, Malicious Effect to shuffle the Descendant back into the deck, which is about as good as it can get. And I'm reading that it's a YuGiOh, which is why I'm making this play so that I can go into a Stardust. Just to insulate against YuGiOh. I think it turns out that it is a Snowman Eater instead. So we attack... Oh, it's a Hamster. So it was Hamster, Snowman Eater, YuGiOh in his hand. But yeah, I mean, we just have to go into Stardust to make sure. And then we can kill the YuGiOh. We special the Stardust back, set the Treeborn Frog and pass. So we're in an okay position. He is looking bricked up on monsters here, which is really unfortunate. Sets, I think, the Snowman Eater now. We have a Miracle Fusion, but we don't have any waters. Well, we have the Treeborn Frog, but, you know, we don't really want to be banishing that. Attacking with the Snowman Eater, negate it, and attack directly with Greffa. He's looking at that Crow in hand and going, I don't want this Stardust to come back. So at end phase activation, he tries to Crow it, which does resolve, so that's very unfortunate, because now the YuGiOh that he's got set will be able to do something for him, which is not great. We have a Miracle Fusion, we have an MST, and we have something else. I think we just drew a second Miracle Fusion. Yeah, we did, and the Gauze, that's right. So we I think just attack, yeah. And it's just like, he goes for the back row, which is the Torrential, which is unfortunate. Does mill a Pot of Avarice, which you always love to see, because Pot of Avarice at 3 in this format is such a problem with this deck. They just get so much draw power out of it, and just recycle all their stuff. Down comes Debris Dragon, the beautiful ultimate rare one, and that's going to bring out the Lone Fire Blossom, which is going to go for a Black Rose. And he's just going to attack over the Greffa. So at this stage, we're like, okay, this is fine-ish. And we just pass it over because I've got the Gauze in hand. We are a little unfortunate, but he uses the second effect of Black Rose to flip up the Treeborn Frog, which whoever remembers that effect. We take the damage, and then goes in for 1,000. We drop the Gauze on the Sangan attack. Because we kind of have to. We don't have a lot else going on. I think we drew into another Miracle Fusion. We bring the Treeborn back. Oh no, it was a Diva. So that's pretty good. It's a great top deck, in fact, because that's going to get us into a 6. We can maybe YuGiOh for his Black Rose, potentially, which I think is probably the best play. It does more damage. We get an extra body. Yeah, we're going to do that. And then he will get the Sangan Search, and we will be attacking into his own Gauze as well. So that's a bit unfortunate. And we do know about the Gauze from the Trap Dust Shoot, I believe. Or was that last game? That might have been last game, in fact. Yeah. So we just attack over, and then attack over the Sangan. Sangan is going to go and grab, I think he grabs another Debris Dragon. Oh no, it's a quick draw. Yeah. Quick draw to be able to go into the old Drillium Warrior. And I think I don't attack with my Gauze. Yeah, I think we just attacked over the 2 monsters and didn't attack direct with our Gauze. Charge of the Light Brigade comes down, and then I think he mills all his targets. Yeah, yeah, that's right. But does mill a Dandy, so gets tokens out of it. So now the quick draw is live, which is good. So that's going to go for its effect. He's going to pitch a Gauze to special that out, which is great for us because now we don't have to play around it. And going to get the Drill Warrior, I think he was just looking at having the other options that the other warriors give him. But I'm pretty sure Drill Warrior is the best option because we are kind of low. We're at 39, so if Drill Warrior starts to get in for direct attacks, that's not a great realm for us. It's not really where we want to be. So Synchro's off for Turbo Warrior in the end. And I gotta read this guy. I'm like, what does Turbo Warrior do? It's something to do with Synchros. I'm like, just get him out of here. Bottomless him away. And then I think he's got the other option to bring out the other quick draw by pitching DD Crow, Tribute for Caius. Caius banishes the YuGiOh and then attack over the Black Rose. Now he's got 0 cards in hand, so this is a lot better position for us, and I'm going, sweet, I've got Heroes in grave, I've got Waters in grave. Double checking he doesn't have anything silly in his graveyard. We're going to Miracle Fusion for an absolute 0. And that will be the game. So yeah, I was just showing him we had double Miracle Fusion. So we take game 2. Can we take it out in the all-important game 3? Right, game 3. So it's the first time we've gone to game 3 this whole evening. And we're going to lead off with a Mind Control. Having a quick read. And it is I believe, a cheeky little YuGiOh. So we're going to flip that and pop the back row. So it's very nice. I think he was thinking whether he wants to chain it on the YuGiOh or not, decides not to. So we get to mill 3, and we actually mill a Malicious, which is kind of insane. It's really good for us, so that's quite nice. I'm looking at the hand. I've got a Cyber Dragon in there, which I obviously opted not to special summon because of the Mind Control. So summon out the Diva, we go for another Diva, and we're just going to go for that same old play that we made last time. No, of course we're not. We're going to go for a Malicious play and get a little 8. We could almost do the Armory Arm OTK if they had a monster that killed Colossal Fighter. But we're going to sync off for Armory Arm, and then we're going to sync off again for the Stardust, and then get in for 18 and 25. No Gauze, which is very nice. And I think I do equip, just to give it an extra 1,000, just in case he's got like a Titanial or something that could attack over Stardust otherwise. It's a shame that it doesn't have the protection effect, it just is what it is. So we MST the back row, which is a Book of Moon, which is quite good, because if he Book of Moon to Stardust, we'd lose the Armory Arm, and then would also get to kill it with YuGiOh. So we go to battle and attack with Armory Arm, and it do be a Dandelion, so they get the 2 tokens, and then we kill one of the tokens. I'm just checking if you can equip Armory Arm again, but it is only once per turn, equip or unequip. So we just end up passing over. He's got the Caius and clears our board, passes it right on back to us, which is unfortunate. We have the Brain Control for Caius. We paid the 800 and then tributed off for Cyber Dragon. So we actually kind of are not punished for holding on to the Cyber Dragon for so long, given that we could have played it out at the start of the game. So that's quite a nice little combo. Down comes to Breed Dragon, grabs the Dandelion, and that's obviously going to go for the Black Rose, and then Black Rose is going to, I think he was thinking if he wants to blow the field or not. I think he decided not to, so we just bottomless. Oh no, he does. So we bottomless it anyway, because might as well get it banished. Draw Stratos for turn, which is pretty good. Checking the status of the heroes in our graveyard, so we're probably going to grab a Prodigy, because we've already used Malicious, which makes a lot of sense. Attack over a token, and just pass it over to him. So he's got 4 in hand. One of them is a Pot of Avarice. So this is looking a bit rough, because I don't think our hand is particularly strong. Down comes the Lone Fire, which goes straight to the Titanial, and then that gives him enough to Pot of Avarice. And so I'm like, okay, let me inspect as you see my big noggin come into frame. So we have a big old look at what he's putting back. And this is just absolutely diabolical, because now we've got a Titanial to deal with. He's getting 2 extra cards. This is not looking so hot. So attacks over our Stratos for 1,000. Draw for turn. And we top deck a Miracle Fusion, which is always, of course, fantastic. Especially when dealing with Titanial, exactly. So then it's just like, do we want to do anything else, or do we just want to slam down the Miracle Fusion? And we opt to do that. And get out the boy. See if he's got a response to this. We just attack over the token. I'm like, we might as well just clear the token and see what happens. Let him kill the Absolute Zero, because, you know, killing it on his turn could kind of stymie his plays. So we'll just let him figure it out. I believe he's just going to attack into it here. Yeah. And then go for Quick Draw and then Drill, which is all pretty good for him. So good for him, so happy, so wow. And then pitch the Caius to banish it and set a Snowman Eater. So, like, I'm really looking at this going, how are we going to get out of this? I know the result of this match, but inspecting the grave, we've got a Gauze in hand. It looks like maybe a Caius. But we're going to tribute Prodigy for Caius. We're going to banish the Snowman Eater, which is great. We're going to kill the token. And then back comes Duel Warrior. And he's going to choose what to add back. I think he might grab the Caius. Or maybe it's Dandelion, because there's that whole nice thing with Duel Warrior where you can just loop Dandelion and just keep getting tokens and stuff. Which is quite tasty indeed. Ends up getting the Lone Fire, because he did put the Titanial back in deck, so Lone Fire is going to come out. It's going to grab the Titanial. No, it's going to grab a Dandy. Okay, alright. Sure. It's kind of adding Dandy back with extra steps, right? Yeah, I guess it thins the deck at the same time, so might as well. Excuse me. Having a big think. Drill effect, banish the drill pitching DD Crow. And we're like, okay, we can attack over the Dandelion with Caius. It's going to give him 2 tokens. Is that really what we want to be doing? It looks like we top decked another Miracle Fusion. Sometimes it just do be like that. So we slam that down. Banish an Absolute Zero and a Gilman, because I'm pretty sure I would have sided out the return from the different dimensions, so there's not much point in keeping like banishing special summonable cards. So we take over the Dandelion, attack one of the tokens, and pass it over. Drill Warrior comes back, and that's going to add back the Caius this time, which makes a lot of sense. Brain Control on the Absolute Zero, and this is very unfortunate. So he was just checking, like, if he tributes the Absolute Zero, will it still get the effect? It's like, yeah, it goes to my graveyard. It's always going to trigger. So tribute the token instead for Caius. Banish our Caius. We take 1,000 and attacks with the Drill Warrior. We have the Gauze. Thank the Lord. So we put the token in defense because it's 2,400. So Absolute Zero gets over it. But he doesn't have a way to get rid of Absolute Zero. So we do get it back. So this is really good because now we're like, okay, we have 2 monsters that are bigger than his 2 monsters. We can actually kill both of these. And he didn't have a monster to pitch for Drill Warrior, so we can get rid of that already. So we drop a Rhoda and grab Greffa because it's our only target, because I only play Stratos and Greffa, so it's just deck thinning at this point. I don't summon it out, I just go for attacks. Get in over the 2 boys. I'm picking that the back row is maybe dead. He looks at the top deck. Yeah, there we go. It was an MST, so we managed to take it out. We had a Dark Armed, which I don't think we had enough Darks in Grave for, ironically. And we had the Greffa, obviously, which we searched off Rhoda. So there we have it. That is our Edison Duel Night with GK Diva Hero. It's actually a really fun deck. I highly recommend trying it out. If you enjoy Diva Hero, you're probably going to enjoy GK Diva Hero. It's just a little bit of extra dimension to the deck, and it's really nice against YuGiOh specifically to flip your Spy, get a Descendant, tribute Spy, pop your YuGiOh. Mwah. There's no better tasty succulent Chinese meal than that. That's a reference, not a racist thing, so but that'll do us for today's video. If you enjoyed it, let me know down in the comments, because this is still a format that I'm playing around with, so if people enjoy it, it gives me a bit more incentive to make more of these. I think people have enjoyed the Genesis ones. I am a little scared to do modern ones just because I'm not very good at modern, but if you want to see them as well, then I can absolutely look into doing some of those. Otherwise, feel free to check out some of the other videos on the channel if you haven't already. Maybe subscribe as well. That could be pretty cool. Otherwise, hopefully, I'll see you in the next video. A massive shout out to channel members Riv and M. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. It means so much to me. And if you want to be like these guys and support the channel in the biggest way possible, hit that join button below.